Hello, everyone. Welcome back to AAS Publishing. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a duet with Janice Sexton. Hi, Janice.
Hi, Frank. How are you?
I'm doing great today. So we are going to walk through the process of how to submit a AAS article, in particular an APJ article. And we'll also be putting up a PDF of guidance on how you walk through the process to submit a journal article. So let's go ahead and get to it. Janice is the master of this, so she's going to lead the walkthrough, and I will ask questions as we go along as I need to. Okay, so let's roll. All yours, Janice.
All right, thanks, Frank. All right, once you're on your home page, you've logged into our AAS site, and you're ready to click Submit Manuscript. So we click Submit Manuscript, and you come up with the type, manuscript type page. And for today, we're choosing article, the first one that's already clicked, astronomical journal, the astrophysical journal, and the supplement and the letters all would click into this article for a type. And then we click continue. The next page that comes up is our corridor and journal page. This is the page where you choose the topical corridor for your manuscript. If you do not understand what the topical corridor is, we have a link to our website that explains which category or which corridor you should be choosing for the manuscript that you're submitting. And for today, since we pretty much know what corridor we want to submit to, I'm going to click 330 high energy.
Oh, that's the best.
Of course, Frank is the lead editor for this one. I'm not prejudiced or anything. I just want, this manuscript is all about 330. So I'm going to click on highlight that. And then down the next section is desired journal. This is the journal. You tell us where you think this manuscript should be published. And today we're going to choose APJ. The lead editor has a final say in which journal it will appear in, and we'll discuss it with you if you do not, you have not chosen that journal. But for today, we're choosing APJ. So after I do those two things, I just click next. And now we're going to upload our files. After doing this for so many years, I've discovered the best way to do this is to upload a zip file. You can just drag it into the box and drop it in, and then the system will automatically, you'll choose on compress, and it on compresses all the files in one shot. So I'm just going to come in and drop one in. And as soon as I dropped it in, it comes down with a drop-down menu and says, do you want to leave it compressed or uncompress it? I want to uncompress it. So I just click that and then click upload files.
So for the curious, this article is Greg Schwartz's How to Use AAS Tech article. So we're going to be using that as an example, but this is going to be, we're actually going to submit this. It'll be deleted on the backside, but it's a real article and we're going through it.
So what you'll notice is as it unzipped this, uncompressed it, it chose based on the type of file, like a PDF file, a BST file, it chooses what file type it is. So it automatically does this for you. And as we go down the list, you'll see that it doesn't, it says, what am I supposed to do with this gzip file? So I would go in and change this to other. And what that means is when I look at it as during our quality check, I will actually delete it because we've already unzipped it. But for this demo, I'm just going to leave it in there just so that I also, it's good to have the office have your files in case something needs to be looked at while we're quality checking it. And so it's changed everything but that one file. And so I say save all at the bottom.
Woo-hoo.
And so as it's saving, it saved it all. So all I'm going to do is click next. And because it's a TeX file, the system automatically parses out the title, the abstract, and the author's names. So if you're using AAS TeX, this is done automatically for you. If you're using a Word document, you'll need to type in the, or copy and paste the title and abstract. But at this point, we're using the AAS TeX, so it automatically does this. I can see that the abstract is less than the 250 words, which is our limit. So I can just move forward with this and say, sorry, say next.
All good, all good.
And then here comes the author page. And our author today is listed here. She was pulled in automatically, and nothing has to be changed or anything. So I'm just going to say next.
Oh, let me ask a question. So suppose that I have an article with 10 authors or
Right.
1,000 authors. Does all this get pulled in automatically, or would I have to enter by hand information for 4, 10, 100, 1,000 authors?
You would if you used Word document.
Okay.
It does not parse that in, but it will fill in 1,000 authors or 3,000 authors if you've set up the TeX correctly. If you have not, then it will not. And all you have to do, if it doesn't, just move forward, and I'll show you what will happen next. So let's say this one is supposed to have 10 more authors on here, but it doesn't. And I have the corresponding author listed in my checkbox. So I'm just going to move on to the next one, because there's a comment box that you can say, my authors were not pulled in. Can you please add them? Our staff will add them for you. So if they're not there, just let us know through the next section. I'll show you. So the next,
bring it on.
bring it on. All right, let's bring it on. Okay, so this is the most important page, I think, is the ethics statement. You can read through this, and if you agree with everything, you can say, yes, this article conforms with these stipulations. If you want to see our complete professional and ethical standards, please click on this link and read it through carefully. And then if you do not think the article does conflict, please say, click no, and then you can add your comment down here as to why it doesn't. You can also add in this section that the authors were not parsed into the system. Please have your staff do it for me. Or you can say, oh, I had a scientific, in this section too, you can say, I had scientific editor blank, blank, blank for my last manuscript. Please ask him to be the scientific editor again, because I really liked him, or her, sorry, yes, either he or her, sorry, Frank. And if you think, oh, how am I gonna squeeze everything in, just pull this out, and you can see the whole comments. You can add as much as you want, but I suggest you make it as few lines as possible, because what we'll do in our office is just, if it's like this long, our staff will make it into a file and add it as a cover letter. You can also add cover letters as well. So for here, I'm going to say I've read the ethics statement, and yes, and then I can add, I agree with everything, just so that you can see how easy it is. And then we're going to go on to the next one, unless Frank has questions.
Nope.
So this next page is the enhanced manuscript information. Many of our authors submit machine readable tables, figure sets, animations, data files, data behind the figures. And so they would click as to what they have in a box. And so our office sees this, and we can alert the scientific editors, and the scientific editors can then alert the reviewers. You can add comments to this as well. And this one, it will expand out as well. For this one, I think I have an interactive figure, so I'm just going to mark that. And then I don't want to comment on it because, or I can say interactive figure for figure 4. And then I would move on. If you don't have anything, you can just skip this page and say next. Then we come to the financial information. If you want gold open access, which means that the readers will be able to view your article the minute it is posted online, published online, then you would click yes. If you do not, you want the standard open access, just leave that blank. If you're a AAS member, this is really important. You get a 15% discount on your manuscript. So if you are, just click this box and type in your number. We will check it. The system automatically, the system will automatically check to see if you did pay your dues prior to January 1st, 2019. We will be changing this over to 2020 in about 2 weeks once we get the membership data from the AAS. So then the next one is the article charges. If, for instance, who's paying for this? All you have to do is put in the institution. You don't have to put the name in. Just type in institution Rocky Mountains. Oh, no, I didn't do this right. There we go. And that tells us that someone will pay the charges after it's been published. The next one is the funding body. If you would like to type in the funder's name, like NASA, and then the grant reference number would go here, 747. And then you can continuing to add more funders if you need more space.
Is that part required?
No, none of this is required on this page except for nothing. Yeah, none of this is required. Okay. It's all, you can, the article charges is sort of important because AppJ Letters does not grant article charge waivers, so they definitely need this when you submit a paper to Letters. Okay. But otherwise, none of it is required. Okay. It's very beneficial to you to use your 15% discount though. So the next page, so we're done with this page. I'm going to next.
Cool.
And we're on to reviewers. This is a reviewer page. So the AAS Journals offers dual anonymous review. The author chooses whether to show the author's information to reviewers, or they allow reviewers to see the author information. You choose, you click which one you want to use, but if you choose do not show author information to reviewers, you're responsible to strip identifying information from your PDF file or your text file. So you would remove the names, affiliation, and the acknowledgement, and then replace the text file by going back up to the Files tab, and you would go down and replace this text file with one that has the author's names and affiliations and the acknowledgement from that page. So that's very important to do. And you'll see that there's a red X here. That's because you have not chosen which one you want to use yet, or we have not chosen one. So for this, I do allow the reviewers to see the author information for this manuscript.
It's a standard submission, and if you're curious more about the role of anonymity in the peer review process, we do have a couple of YouTube videos on that. And you can check that on the playlist for the anonymous reviews.
Yes, and then the next one is suggested reviewers. Scientific editors don't mind at all if you suggest some reviewers. I would suggest more than one though, because if you just choose one, they're more than likely not going to choose it because you've only chosen one. But if you have a list of people that you would like to choose, you can add them. So I'm going to add one.
Yeah, that Vishniak guy.
The Vishniak guy.
That
So
guy.
I'm gonna select him, and as you can tell, you can't see his whole email because we don't want that publicized for anyone, any of our reviewers. But so I'm just gonna select him, and then that will come into our office, and then I'm gonna choose another one. I'm going to choose, so there's a lot of Schwarz. So I'm just going to choose the one I want, which is Greg. So I have chosen 2 reviewers. And so then that's all I want to choose. And then I go down to the deprecated reviewers. If you have someone that you have a conflict of interest with, the scientific editors would really appreciate if you let them know. And then you can add those just the same way as you add this. So if I go in here and I can say, I do not want, let's see, what do I not want? Oh, let's say, no, Vishniak's up there already.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to choose, I don't want, well, I do want him. So I'm going to choose
You're in the first name field.
Gus. August. Oh, yeah. Gus. Let's see. Gus, what's Gus's last name?
August.
I'm just going to choose this one because it's coming up.
For all you're famous.
So we have him, and I'm going to add him.
Her.
And then, and her, or I'm going to choose this person, and I'm going to say conflict of interest. And then I go on to next. Now we come to the Unified Astronomy Thesaurus, the UAT concepts. Since we're no longer using the subject headings, you get to choose new words from the concepts. So this is pretty simple. Just type in the word, let's say galaxy. A list of words will come up. Do you want to use any of these words? And you can scroll down, there's a large list. Let's say we want to use the environment. And when I clicked on that, it automatically went in added concepts box. And if you see the galaxy environments, and then it has the 2029, if you want to keep it, then you just leave it alone. If you want to remove it, you just would click remove X. So I want to go over to see more extragalactic astronomy concepts. So I'm going to click on this box, and it comes up with another layer of galaxy, extragalactic. I'm just going to click on this first one. Another list comes up. If you want any of these, you just click on this, interstellar medium. And I say I want this one. Galaxy environments and galaxy. I'm choosing up to 12 different ones that I'd like.
So I have a question, because I would say most authors have probably already chosen the UAT concepts when they submit their manuscripts.
Yes.
There's a keyword. Does that automatically get parsed off and put into here, or do I have to fill it in?
You have to fill it in. Okay. So it does not parse it off. I don't think the AAS Tech, this version, automatically will parse it into this.
Okay.
I think it's because there's too many layers to this, so you have to actually click through to which one you want.
Okay.
And you can click up to 12. So once I click the ones that I think pertain to this manuscript, I click next. And now I can review my files. And I see that the merged PDF has not finished compiling, because there are quite a few figures for this. But our system does not make you wait for this to be completed. If you have your own PDF, you can upload it here. If you have your one that you've compiled on your own computer, you can just re-upload it and this turning wheel will stop automatically. It will not stop you from submitting your manuscript for us, though. So what I would do for this is, I say, well, I know it's going to be perfect, and if it's not perfect, our office will contact you.
We're very
so
helpful.
then, yes, we're there at your beck and call.
We're very helpful.
And the next one, so then after I see that it's still compiling, I just say next. And it lets me review the submission. If there was something that was not right, let's say you did not fill in something, there would be a red arrow next to the review submission, and it would tell you to go back and fix it. But we did everything correct for this. So the next step would be submit manuscript.
Woo-hoo.
And then the next one would be approve manuscript.
Bang.
And it's submitted to our office. And so we get it. We wait for cross-check to do its cross-check on your paper, and then you'll get an acknowledgement once we approve everything. And it's done.
Awesome. Piece of cake. Thank you, Janice, for that walk.
You're welcome, Frank.
And like I said, we've also developed a PDF of the steps necessary, so you can take a look at that if it's still kind of a mystery or you want guidance as you're going through it or what's coming next. You can pick up that PDF and walk through it. And certainly if you have any questions or problems with the submissions, let us know, and it can be addressed.
Yes, there's a, if you have questions, contact the editorial office for help. That comes directly to our office, and we will help you immediately, especially if you're during the submission process. We will answer you immediately and help you with anything.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.